Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time and patience in listening to most of these sessions on the pragmatic leadership. So, going forward, we will take up yet another subject of discussion in the chapter of personal leadership. So, today we will discuss one of the most interesting aspect of what way a leader can distinguish himself in a given circumstances of developing a institution or any other form of improvements in the environment in which he functions. So we have seen that when you become a leader, need not necessarily be a CEO of a company. It could be a kind of any other type of responsibility one may lead. So we have seen that the leadership is not a position but a state of a being, that with what mentality one functions makes somebody as a leader. So having said that, that means somebody can be a clerk or a supervisor or could be anything in any organization, but he can function with a leadership mentality or he can function with a follower mentality. So many a times people misunderstand that leadership is something, a position where 100 people are working under you and then you are leading something very big and so on. It need not necessarily. Leadership is nothing but a state of a being in which a person takes the responsibility of developing something which is much bigger than himself. So having said that, in the page number 18, in the second chapter, I spoke about what are the active ingredients that is necessary for somebody to function that way. So one of the aspects I have said is when you behave like a leader, you need to understand the environment, which we call it as a big picture. That means you need to figure out what kind of environmental situation that we are operating. So it varies from situation to situation what you are really leading. For example, if you are leading an organization, then you need to figure out what is the kind of environment this company is functioning. Meaning that what are the political situations, what is the socio-economical situations, what are the customers' expectations, and so on and so forth. But if you are running a country as a prime minister, for example, you need to understand the whole country and then the expectations of the people and then the neighboring countries and the dynamics with them and so on and so forth. So one of the important aspect when somebody behaves like a leader, need to have a broader picture of the environment and then also understand in this given environment how we are really going to make a difference and make a progress of our own people. So the other aspect of behaving like a leader is not only understanding the environment, also understand the strength and weakness of the organization one is leading in order to negotiate those environment and move forward. Let us take a simple example that while you are driving essentially a motor car, for example, so what we are trying to do is we are trying to figure out what is the weather and what is the traffic, and then we understand the condition in which we are driving, if the road is wet or dry or whatever it is. So having understood the environment, then we also understand the vehicle that we are driving, its own strength and weakness, and whether the brake is very effective or not effective. And then we try to drive safely so that we are able to reach our destination. In the same way, if as an individual, that when we are trying to grow in an organization, we try to understand what is the organizational environment in which we are working and the various expectations of our seniors and so on. and also we understand our own strength and weakness to negotiate in this organization to grow. So essentially, this is a very conceptual skill of understanding the situations and trying to know the strength and weakness, so that you will be able to make progress in your own career or in a kind of an organizations and so on. So this is a unique kind of a skills which is far different from a technical competency. The other aspect is one of the choices that we make in our life is continuously we have been making choices in our life to make progress. So, in complicated management parlance, we say it is a strategic choice. So, strategy is nothing but making choices. So, if you want to reach a destination, then you need to make many choices. Like, for example, if you are flying a plane as a pilot, you figure out what is the environment in which you are going to fly, where there are bumpy kind of sections of the sky you need to pass through, then at what altitude you need to fly, and so on and so forth. So a leader always makes choices of maneuvering the kind of a situation to move forward. So a leader understands the environment, he understands the strength and weakness of himself, and then make choices to various moves that he will be making. So, having done that, the other aspect of leadership is essentially that what are the capabilities we have, what are the capabilities we don't have, and how do we continuously build our capabilities, and so on and so forth. Yesterday, while I was counseling one of the entrepreneur, he was sharing his own thoughts about his perceived weaknesses in his own leadership capabilities. That means a leader constantly identifies the inadequacies in his own competencies or his own organization competencies, and then tries to bring about the improvements on a continuous basis. So if you look at the leadership concepts as an active ingredient, you will find they are not anything dramatically different where a common man cannot develop. The aspect of creating the big picture understanding, knowing the broader kind of a picture on any given situation, etc. These are all something academic educations cannot teach. It cannot be given as an information or a cookbook approach or a formula. This is something one has to realize. This is very critical and important, and then constantly develop those competencies. Now there is an argument that we made that the leaders are made or they are born. This is a very interesting discussions that we always go through. One of the greatest founder of largest international electrical engineering company, Matsushita, was asked once that how have you become the multinational company, and he said that in my organization every year there are 3 people, they are groomed as CEOs basically, and if I am not going to provide them an organizational leadership position, they may not probably stay with me. So then I asked them to go to another country and establish their firm there, and that is the way the national brand belong to Matsushita, grown up like anything as a multinational company. So this illustration shows that leaders are not really born that way, they are being developed. One may ask, then who is going to develop me? That's $1 million question, that if you are waiting for somebody to come and develop us, that's not going to happen. So what is most important is how we develop our own self on a regular basis is what exactly the subject of pragmatic leadership is all about. I hope this has given you some kind of a deeper understanding of this subject of pragmatic leadership, and look forward to share with you more and more interesting kind of concepts in the coming videos. Thank you very much for your time. Nice talking to you. God bless you for a wonderful career ahead. Take care.